before we get very far into our next story, we do have a warning for you tonight. What you're about to see and hear may not be suitable for children. Tonight, take a walk in their world.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Transpicuous News. It is February 18th. It's a Saturday. Usually the news is quiet on a Saturday, and it has been. Of course, it doesn't take into account the last 48 hours before that. Some more of the wild, the weird, the wacky. Apparently that's going to be our new theme on Transpicuous News. And one sad. So I'll put it at the very end for those who don't want to watch. So let's get going and look at the news. And of course, we all know I can't resist taking the piss out of NASA. NASA wants you to come work with them to help find the missing planet from the comfort of your own house. That's right. They've actually built a website. It's called Backyard Worlds Planet 9. Where you can go through all their satellite images and see if you can find that elusive missing planet 9, the one that they thought Pluto was, but now it's just a planetoid or some such ridiculousness. So there you go. If you're really, really bored and you need to be highly distracted looking at stars and stuff on pictures, this could be the job for you. You won't get paid for it. It is NASA, after all. Now, further to a story we talked about earlier, last week, was it? Apparently, so we talked about, I think it was last week, how they're going to send a deadly MRSA virus and deadly MRSA bacteria up to the ISS space station so that they can watch it mutate and make it bigger and stronger and badder, right? Well, apparently they decided to announce that, giving the public absolutely no way to formulate a response because it was supposed to go today. So, less than a week later is when the SpaceX shuttle was supposed to take off. Oh, but they had at 13 seconds to launch, they had an emergency delay. So they're going to try again tomorrow. So if any of you Galactic Federation types are out there, Mr. Spock, anyone else, if you should feel the need to blow up this shuttle before it goes anywhere with its deadly virus on it, please feel free. I'm pretty sure the people of Earth will thank you. Let's see. The Japanese have invented a Robobee, and it's not that exciting. I know, it's like, okay, on one hand, oh, hey, instead of replacing the bees, how about we just stop killing them with pesticides? There's one thought, right? But I thought, oh, no, all these are drones that they've attached horsehair to in some kind of sticky pad. So they basically fly the drone over the flower and collect some pollen and then drop it over here. So it's not as exciting as you thought, But yeah, how about we stop killing the bees? There's a good thought. Harvard scientists, again, what could possibly go wrong? The woolly mammoth will be back from extinction within 2 years, said Harvard scientists. Now, this is going to be kind of a little bit of an ongoing theme, if you've noticed. Genetics, gene splicing, all that good stuff. Now, here's the interesting bit. Basically, they're going to take, some stuff from a woolly mammoth and that they found perfectly preserved, and they're going to splice it with elephant genes, Asian, not African, and they're going to create woolly mammoths. Again, what could go wrong? It's only Jurassic Park, right? Now, here's the interesting piece in this, right? We hope to do the entire procedure ex vivo, outside of a living body. It would be unreasonable to put female reproduction at risk in an endangered species. He added that his lab is already capable of growing a mouse embryo in an artificial womb for 10 days. Artificial wombs? Oh, that's come up a lot, hasn't it? Here's the interesting piece of that. To rear the embryo in an artificial womb, which seems ambitious to say the least, the resultant animal would have been deprived of all the pre-birth interactions with its mother, i.e. the mother-infant bond. Is that what they're going with? All these new artificial womb stories they're trying to put out there, how they're on the cusp? I'm thinking, no, I think we should just let Mother Nature alone, let her do it herself. Here we go. They have invented artificial sperm. You heard it. Because what more does the world need but some artificial sperm? And again, it's one of those that's got some interesting pieces in here. Now, let me see. I'm having issues with my scrolling. Here we go. Questions have been circling around whether or not these can also be applied to humans, because of course right now they're just doing mice, right? We're just going to test it on mice. First line of defense, apparently. And whether or not these can also be applied to humans. Previous research has shown that it's possible to convert skin cells into pluripotent stem cells, which are the equivalent of embryonic stem cells. Pay attention, people. These pluripotent stem cells have been converted into precursors of sperm and egg cells. Note they say have been converted into precursors of sperm and egg cells. So they've already done this. Note the entire paragraph is talking about humans, not mice. Of course, this is in theory. In the meantime, there are ethical questions surrounding this sensitive topic of changing the way humans procreate. Going back to the bees, why don't we just let Mother Nature take care of it herself? Unless, of course, you know, there's an agenda, some kind of agenda there. Yes. You can create egg cells and sperm cells. You can do gene splicing, and you have artificial wombs. Very interesting. Let's see, what do we have next here? Okay. And in a fit of laughter, I just about busted out. So, you know, major Pacific storm is coming, gonna hit Southern California. Apparently it didn't happen, or did it? We're not sure, but there was the hype. The hype went out. Oh, this major storm, and it's called Lucifer. Be afraid. Be afraid. It's the Lucifer Storm coming to hit Southern California. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, just a little bit of predictive programming for you. Because, you know, if you want people to really get into the hype, you got to sell it. You really got to sell it. So let's call it Lucifer. Seriously, can we fire someone over that? Now, little bit interesting. Guess who's going to Antarctica this year? Ships of the Russian Baltic Fleet. That's the major announcement to come out this week, or sorry, last week. They're just gonna go off to Antarctica. Now, of course, there's the ships of the fleet are to make a long distance voyages to the North Sea, to the Mediterranean, to Antarctica, and to other areas of the world oceans this year. So it's just kind of slipped in there. We'll just slip Antarctica in there. Now, what was interesting though, the oceanic survey vessel of the Baltic Fleet, the Admiral Vladimirsky, I hope I said that okay, did an Antarctic voyage from November 2015 through to April 2016. Oh, coincidentally, the same time that Patriarch Kirill was there and made his trip to Antarctica. Don't you find that interesting? I find it highly coincidental and very, very interesting. But we'll move on. Trump. I don't know, guys. I mean, this is one of those things. I don't like him. You know, you all know that I don't like Trump. But Trump fake news media accountability survey is getting trolled and ridiculed. Well, of course it is. Everything he's doing is being trolled and ridiculed. But his Twitter, his little tweet that they call it, tweet that they put out, the fake news media failing. New York Times, NBC, ABC, CBC, CNN is not my enemy. It is the enemy of the American people. Donald Trump calling out the fake news and calling all the mainstream media as fake news. You gotta love it. I don't know. I mean, we all know it's true. So I would almost have to go, Trump won. A point has got to go to his side on this one. Now, what's interesting, and I forgot to pull up the link, sorry guys, Venezuela's kicked CNN out. Said, yeah, you're fake news, get the fuck out. Do you sense a little shift going on here? I like it. I'm finding all this fake news stuff for me is actually been really fucking funny. So, what's next? We're going to talk about, on the news of the whole discussion of fake news, the BBC is being called on and questioned over their impartiality when they published a map on one of their shows which shows Israel as Jerusalem as being in Israel, and the Gaza Strip is not even there. Oh snap, the BBC impartial. I couldn't laugh. It's fucking hysterical. The BBC is so not impartial. But the fact that they're being called into question on it, yeah, it's a giggle. It's the little things in life that make me laugh, okay? And if you're bored this year, I meant to talk about this in one of the previous news shows and I got sidetracked. Russian Revolution is imminent. Imminent. Lenin to return from Switzerland. No, it's not happening live. Well, it is. RT has created a website called 1917 Live, where they're tweeting out a reenactment of the year 1917, which is the year of the Russian Revolution. And they're tweeting it out as if it's happening live. Now, it's been kind of funny. Like, I've kind of followed a few things. But yeah, if you're bored and you want to kind of catch along at what Lenin has to tweet, what Tsar Nicholas II wants to tweet about, it's interesting. But what's more interesting, this whole Russian Revolution thing just keeps coming back. Just keeps coming up. That not all is what it seems. And kind of like World War II, it looks like the Russian Revolution didn't really play out the way history is telling us it did. And when I get some more time, I will do some more research on that. I have a whole haven't set up for it. I just haven't had time to really go and crawl through all the information because the information is vast, as you can imagine. So, and finally, this is the sad one. I might rant for a second. Really, California? Really? California City erects a prison camp to deal with homeless. I don't know. I mean, in America, you guys, I'm Canadian, right? We're the Great White North. We have winter everywhere. But if I was homeless in America, it would just seem to me that the thing that I would try to do would be to somehow, some way, get somewhere south where at least you know you're not going to freeze to death in a snowbank. And I find it very interesting also that Florida, with the multitude of new laws about how you can't feed the homeless, you can't house the homeless, you can't give them anything, i.e. blankets or tents, etc. Now, California with this prison camp to deal with the homeless, and this is just the latest spin on this. Like, we have seen multiple stories coming out about people who've donated small houses in abandoned areas, etc., and they've been torn down by the government and been torn down by the police. And really, humanity? Is that how disgusting you are? Really? Or Is that kind of the criteria that maybe we judge who is or isn't human? Because you got to wonder. There's a lot of people out there that don't really exercise the qualities that I would call, well, defining of human. And we won't even go into my whole rant about soulless people, the bots, etc. But that's it. That's it for me for the weekend. I don't know if I'll be back. I don't know. Something major might happen. It's weird out there, folks. It's seriously weird out there. Keep your stick on the ice. And I'll see you again really soon. Bye.